know.
They don't
Uh,
care. And it's
even
like whoever is in charge of it, it has to be someone that they like. Only because
it's
they're
it's
the
funny
writers,
that
fuck.
and it's just I would say after this segment.
yeah, we got to keep going because it is getting up
Oh
to
my
3 hours. And I know I got to say we're getting up to 3 hours, and Cosro's going to be upset in the comment section.
The thing we have to understand is that James Gunn has no real DC fan base. The people that support him online are trolls, bots, and instigators who get off on attacking people and chasing after easy targets. They like Gunn because he acts like they do. Childish, immature, and mind-numbingly stupid. They treat him like a damsel in distress, rushing to defend his honor at the slightest hint of negativity towards him. They don't pay to see his movies, though. There is no financial support from these keyboard warriors. Gunn's MCU audience are Marvel fans who support Marvel projects. I would argue that they are not interested in his DCU any more than Snyderverse or DCEU fans are interested. Gunn's DCU audience does not exist. The Suicide Squad and Peacemaker were not financially successful for WBD. I will grant the small group of Gunn fans one tiny win.
Come on. Come
They were-
on.
Wait,
For one, it wasn't.
Peacemaker wasn't financially stable for them. Okay.
It got
but
so many great positive feedback from the people that were watching it. It was
He,
better than the
Peacemaker
Suicide
It's a
is in
streaming show.
It's in Mortal Kombat. Is Peacemaker is a playable character? You know,
Yes, he's in Mortal Kombat 1. Thank you.
and also like Zolo, like when before Blue Beetle and the SAG strike happened, he said he wants to be in a project with John Cena's Peacemaker. Like, and
That's- I
also
remember that.
like, and a bunch of people were like, "Oh, now wanting to work with John Cena more and more now." So,
dude,
to
the
say-
guy was it Hulu is dropping Vacation Friends 2
yeah,
at the end of the month or whatever, and, like
and
I want.
he's in that Coyote versus Acme.
Oh yeah,
movie.
yeah. He's
He,
in another
like-
one too. It's him and some female. I forget who I read about today. So like John Cena's getting a lot of work, and I like John Cena. So it's like,
Yeah, so to say that James Gunn's Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad was not
they just
And-
focus on like the box office of Suicide Squad. That movie
Yeah.
came out when they were doing their whole slate out there, right?
Right.
Like we still had a Delta variant with COVID. It did well day and day. I mean, there's so many little pieces of information that have been floating around that, quite frankly, Zod just ignores for his own narrative. But
They throw everything under the rug when there's actual evidence. They just hide it under the rug, and they're just like, "Oh no, that's not actually true. Here's what actually happened." That's
Yeah.
all they do.
oh no. Again, we have got to get through this because there is more to fucking get to. There's a lot more to get to. So let's go.
With regards to Gunn's movie and TV show, receiving some good reviews critically and among their Gunn-loving peer groups. But so what? Rewarding Gunn for a box office bomb and a middle-of-the-road TV show seems more than a little ridiculous, and smells of a fishy incompetence on the part of his employer.
Oh my god, man!
Yeah,
Like,
we'll just move on to the next one here. This one's little. Let's see. All right.
No, wait, you muted it.
Yeah. All right. We're on this. Yeah, we're on the screen.
If Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav really wanted to protect the DC brand, he should start by getting his house in order. After 4 consecutive flops, Gunn and Safran have proven to be more of a liability than an asset. Those two men have defiled any goodwill the movie-going audience had left. There is no confidence in DC as a brand anymore. How is that not obvious to Zaslav at this point? I plan to talk next about Blue Beetle, but it's so brain-dead for Gunn and Safran to remain in power when they have lost the studio so much money and managed to completely alienate the general audience just as much as DC's biggest supporters. If running DC into the ground is not the plan Zaslav had in mind, then like the head coach of a defeated football team after a horrendous losing season, it's time to make changes at the top. This won't get any better for DC Studios with James Gunn and Peter Safran at the helm. Blue Beetle currently sits at $43,630,225 worldwide, according to Box Office Mojo. This is perhaps the most significant indicator of all the movies to come out under Gunn and Safran for the success level of Superman Legacy and their planned DCU. Gunn heavily promoted Blue Beetle as being his first DCU character. He praised director Angel Manuel Soto and lead actor Solo Maridueña, going as far to confirm that while the Blue Beetle movie is not canon, the character definitely is. So where were all those supporters who run with Gunn? I guess they could not be bothered to take a break from attacks and death threats this weekend to buy a movie ticket. The dismal box office underscores that Gunn's DCU fanbase does not exist. They will watch Blue Beetle for free when they can download it through torrent on the internet. Pathetic.
What the fuck, yo? Pathetic.
There's a lot of projection there.
God.
So for one, yeah, like, you know, we're gonna see Blue Beetle come back. That's already been mentioned. That's been mentioned now for like a long time.
That's like
he's
been
going to
mentioned
be-
every single time Blue Beetle's mentioned to James Gunn. He's like, yeah, he's coming back. So it's like, to say that, oh, as soon as it flops, he's gonna rescind that offer. No, it's probably was signed like when Gunn had a screening of it. It's like, okay, Zolo, you're back, and everyone, you know, and I think even Angel and Gunn reference that even the whole family, the Reyes family, might be get back, and Penny.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, it's just
It's so
wow.
fucking weird with how they are, with how they just, oh my god, when it comes to
And-
just attacking everything endlessly, it's like, bro, like everything has to be what you want in order to fucking like attack it. Like, what the fuck? Like,
All
that's
right,
one of the biggest things I've always hated them about.
The whole thing is crazy. So sorry, there's a lot to get to. We gotta move on here. Okay, here is the 9th installment. This is one that just dropped an hour ago. Only 60 views. Who liked this though? I want to see. Oh, Syl.
Oh, of course, bobblehead Syl.
Of course.
Of course, the bobblehead.
Yes. All right. Okay, let's go.
The final DCEU film is slated to be released in December 2023. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is a sequel directed by James Wan to his $1 billion Jason Momoa-led Aquaman from 2018. There have been a ton of rumors surrounding Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom being severely micromanaged by the studio. A victim of multiple changing regimes that was supposed to connect to the greater DCEU, but will now reportedly be a standalone story. Allegedly, this film has been changed so many times over the years that James Wan himself has no idea what the theatrical cut will be like. This is pretty horrible considering the success of the first Aquaman. Ironically, that movie is the main reason Peter Safran with James Gunn are in charge at DC Studios now. There is no hype surrounding Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. The movie is tracking to perform just as poorly at the box office as the rest of the 2023 releases. This will likely be another film ignored by the Gunn fans who don't exist. When I posted on Twitter X about why Gunn supporters were not showing up for these movies, Gunn has been promoting. I received a variety of responses, most of which were people attacking and or insulting me, or telling me to kill myself, which automatically invalidates them. However, some people actually said things along the lines of, well, Gunn didn't direct any of these movies. I read that on Twitter X more than once, and that sentiment should prove alarming to Zaslav, Gunn, and Safran, because they are betting everything on their upcoming DCU, and Gunn will not be directing every project. Blue Beetle is the logical measuring stick for the DCU's potential success. Safran produced it, Gunn endorsed it, and is including the character in the DCU. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom has no chance of success by comparison. The point being, Blue Beetle is the biggest flop yet, and the only movie that will connect in any way with what is to come following Superman Legacy. It is going to take so much work for whomever buys Warner Brothers Discovery to try and win back moviegoers again. Even if the tiny subset of Gunn fans show up for Superman Legacy, the hardcore DC fans will not. Those who love the Snyderverse and DCEU will not. Most importantly, the general audience will not. James Gunn and Peter Safran's DCU is DOA.
I mean, it's not. You know?
Oh shit! Whoa! Look
What?
in the chat. Look in the chat.
Yeah. Is he? Oh, he's watching.
No, he's live right now. Wait, he's watching.
Lost on the fact that this is the movie Gunn and Safran did the least with regards to promotion. It makes me wonder if Gunn will ever put the DC brand ahead of his own ego. If I were a betting person, I would go with absolutely not.
Oh,
Wait.
so
Did
he's
he just become